Okay. Hey, Charles, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic there, Lee. I do want to say, because at this point, you would have already announced the album. It's on the buffer. So I want to say hi to Bob Hay.
Yeah.
I know you'll
Uh,
watch. I know you'll listen. I know you'll say something very disrespectful to me in the comments. That's
uh,
okay. I want to say hi to anybody out there that would check this out. A
uh,
lot of people may, because what are we doing on the show? It's a Redux episode. I'll give
yeah.
them that much. But what are we doing today
Yeah,
on the
we
Lee
did it
Gerstmann
before,
show?
and so now we're doing it again. It's the album by Oasis, the collection of singles called the Masterplan.
That is true. It's
Yeah.
not actually a collection of singles. It's a collection of B-sides. And
Well, but they were on singles. So
they were.
so so
Okay.
I so I would say a collection of B-side singles.
Not necessarily wrong. That's true. We did this because unlike some of you fuckers, I have a ticket to see Oasis on the tour. That sold out. That some great fans out there, alleged fans, said they couldn't sell out if they wanted to, but they did everywhere in stadiums. Unlike Iron Maiden, you fucking metal twats.
Yeah.
Ooh, that hurts, right?
Yeah.
That they sold out in the Rose Bowl, and they sold out in MetLife Stadium, and they sold out everywhere that they would not do because they're such shit,
Yeah.
right? They're such terrible. They're just 90s nonsense garbage music.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well,
Unlike Cheap Trick, who's
yeah.
been mediocre their whole career.
Yeah.
And you fans are the most nasty fans I've ever met in my life. Like you dropped me as a friend just because I made fun of Cheap Trick. But you
Yeah.
can make fun of this group
Yeah.
over and over again. By the way, Lee, I might be a little more animated on this episode because maybe a few people that watch the channel, I'm an Oasis mega fan.
Yeah. Well,
Right,
I do have to say, before you got me really into their albums, I didn't really care for them all that much. And then the more that you got me into them, I found that there was actually quite a few things that I liked. And then so you asked me to do this album, and I found that I'm starting to not like them again. So I want to thank you for that, bringing me back to where I used to be.
That's fantastic because get into that feeling. That's what us true Oasis fans love. We love memes that make fun of us. We love talking shit on us because our two heroes, Noel and Liam Gallagher from Manchester, England, they don't give a fuck what you think. And that now I will say this about this band, Lee, on the haters, okay? And I know you're really not a hater. I know you might trash this one just to be funny, but
no, I'm trashing this one because it needs. Well, it's because it's their very worst album.
that's not even close to true. That would be Dig Out Your Soul.
No,
but
that's one of their best.
That's not even close to their best. And
no, I like it the best. It's to me their best.
Well, I'm sure Noel won't be mad that you love it so much. But the thing is see, I put the haters of this band in three categories. The first category is the death metal. I only like metal type people that they live in their mom's basement. They don't take baths. They've never had pussy. And they write nasty comments on the internet. Well, I can't help them. I don't understand them. They also don't like melody. They don't like melody. They don't like music. They just like to hear. That's it. And that's all they like. And I don't get those people. Now, the other ones, are people that don't like their attitude. They don't like the fact that they talk mad shit on the planet, but they understand melody. I can understand those people. I can, because, these two guys are very, very, very confrontational and don't give a fuck what you think. But to me, that's what rock and roll is all about. Rock and roll is about being arrogant. I have the biggest car. I have the most money. I have this and that. And they were the last group to kind of do that, because the rest of the rock music became like Third Eye Blind and what was that? Match. Just crappy fucking shit.
Well,
make you just want to jump off a cliff.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to find an album for us to do of David Pomeranz when he got uptight, because when he went to the supermarket, they ran out of his special conditioner Pantene.
And keep David Pomeranz for Freeform guest shows. We've already done Nantucket on this channel.
He's like their soft wagging dog.
No, but I don't need that in my life. I do get the dichotomy, because a lot of times when you hear the songs, there's a lot of love songs. There's a lot of uplifting songs. There's not like Go Kill Your Parents and I Hate You and Destroy Society. So I get that, where people may not like that. But some of us like uplifting music. Some of us do. Some of us brush our teeth. Some of us enjoy just being nice to each other every now and then. But it is a dichotomy when the two guys are like, we're the greatest fucking rock band in the world, fuck you. And that's it. And I do think, honestly, they were the last great rock band in what we know rock and roll to be. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we got now? What's that fake ass Led Zeppelin band?
Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah, no, that's shit. And Coldplay. I mean, if you like wimpy shit, you'll like Coldplay. Or you'll like Radiohead.
They're better.
Anybody with a sack would like this better. But let's go ahead and you tear it up, man. Let's go ahead.
Yeah. I would say you were like defending a great dish of food behind you, and it ended up being unbaked tofu and potato mix.
Coldplay is the Olive Garden of music. So if you think Olive Garden's real Italian food, go ahead.
You were defending this, and it's Olive Garden's rubber toy. Anyway,
we'll see.
Yeah. I don't like it. I'll put it to you like this: if you like this album, I totally do not agree with any of what you just said. Okay. Anyway, let's start. Who wants to start first?
Go ahead.
Okay. Is the first song "Listen Up"?
No, it's Acquiesce.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I forgot to write the title. That's how excited I was about it. Anyway, this would have been a good theme song for the show The Kids in the Hall from MTV. And I don't mean that as a compliment. It's a mediocre, not too bad song, but it's the type of fulfilling filler at a party where someone needs a ton of songs, and this happens to be available, and everyone's drinking and talking anyway and not really listening, so it doesn't matter. What do you think?
Well, I do recall the original one. You also wasn't too glowing. By the way, there, Bob Hay and those folks, he did make memes to make fun of me. It's easily one of the most rocking tunes the band has ever done. Certainly in the top of the Oasis rockers, and I'm sure Some would say the best in a pure hard rocking type track. I won't go that far myself, but it's a strong track. And it's fairly ironic due to the fact that the brothers aren't known to acquiesce too much to begin with, which most Americans don't know what acquiesce means to begin with. Correctly?
Probably.
Yeah, I know, right? That's why it just kills you. The original duet song, which is something they don't do often. Liam is in full snotty sneer, and Noah's showing his prowess as well. The way he holds the closing note, one's soul, on the opening chorus is nothing to sneeze at. It's almost Whitney Houston-esque. It's also about the only time you'll hear the second verse on this song in its entirety, as Liam Gallagher usually skips that live, but just repeats the first verse. The guitars are smoking as well, even if with no solo. This is pure Oasis here. Go ahead.
Okay, what do you think of Underneath the Sky?
B-side to Don't Look Back in Anger. In a rare case, definitely not as strong as the A-side here. For whatever reason, I'm hoping you agree, this is the skipper for me. I've never been a big fan of this one. First off, I think it suits Noel more vocally, and there's something about the chorus that just doesn't work for me. As acquiesce as the emphasis of Oasis, this one is not, at least not for me. This is something. There's something about songs that Oasis does about the sky, like Up in the Sky from Definitely Maybe, doesn't do much for me either. This is a weak track in my estimation. Tell me how you love it, Lee.
Well, at best, it's a very mediocre song that sounds like a boring Kinks filler song off of one of their middle period albums I never hear because they don't interest me. Okay, now for Talk Tonight.
You didn't like, we both didn't like.
Okay,
There you go.
Is Talk Tonight. Yeah. This is an example of the kind of singer-songwriter type who would play as the opening act of a good group, but the opening act is going on a bit too long and none of the songs are interesting. This would be in his set list. What do you think?
Yeah. Now this is what I'm talking about. Nothing quite like an acoustic ballad from Noel. And he's one of the best at this. Based off a true story when Noel almost quit the band on a disastrous performance at the Whiskey A Go-Go. This is what Noel excels at. Writing songs that most people, besides Lee, I guess, can understand. And the guitar playing is perfect here. The little keyboard solo is nice as well, and the hand claps are perfect percussion for the track. This is yet another Oasis classic that if you don't know, shame on you, not me.
All right, what do you think of Going Nowhere?
Yeah, it's the B-side to Stand By Me off of Be Here Now, which is a quiet classic from the boys, that album. But yet again, we get a B-side that is better than the A-side for my money right here. Based off of Noel Gallagher's love of the work of Burt Bacharach, it has that feel all over it. As I was saying, the melodies flow from Noel. So those that hate melody, they won't like this. Very epic in production, tons of strings and horns, and no way Liam Gallagher could sing this with the proper emotion or expression. Noel is definitely underrated as a singer, and he does a fantastic job here. This song is beyond excellent. It's damn near perfection. Go ahead, Lee, because you already told me before you liked it. But go ahead and tell me how you hate it now.
This sounds like a typical song by Colin Moulding, the least interesting writer of songs in the group XTC. At least so far, these first 4 songs are boring in different ways. And that's a strange accomplishment I wouldn't recommend to any band. Okay. Now for...
That's interesting, because I sent you the Noel Gallagher's High Flying Bird live version, and you practically splooged all over it. But go ahead.
But I didn't like this.
Away. That's fair. on this one? Okay.
I'm talking about every time I hear it, I'll I'll give you my opinion now. Anyway,
Okay.
now for Fade Away. Okay. A fifth way to be boring. Merely because a song is played fast and heavy doesn't make it a good song, especially if the song itself doesn't suit the style they're putting on it. Again, not something that I listen to for fun. What do you think?
That's an interesting take. Not the last sentence you said, but the sentence before that. Because on this version, probably the most punk type song the band ever did, it's ragged as all be all. From Tony McCarroll's drumming to the way Liam sneers throughout this track. It's a very rough recording, and production wise, it's way too trebly for my taste, and almost physically hurts to listen to it due to its production. Not because it sucks, haters. Go listen to Van Hagar, you dipshits. No, not because of the way the song, but the production. But the chorus and the guitar changes are what does keep me into this. But Lee, interestingly, Noel does this when he does it solo. It's a chill out number.
Yeah, I heard it.
Way more chilled version, and it's far from this version. So I don't know what I like.
It's
which
equally
better.
bad.
I think I would like. That's not true because
Yeah.
I've heard Mascara.
I don't like it.
But I've heard Mascara.
I know, I like that. I like it.
I like this, but the production isn't quite to my liking.
Ew.
So I kind of agree, but only a quarter.
All right. What do you think of the Swamp Song?
One of 3 instrumentalists Oasis ever did, and this one is in the running for the best one of the lot. My only knock is it reminds me a bit of ZZ Top, like Tush. But hell, I mean, it's just blues rock, not a sound the band does a lot, so I guess I can give it a pass. And hell, ZZ Top is just a take on Chuck Berry, if one wants to be honest. This song slams. They throw the kitchen sink at this one with harmonica and some smoking guitars running throughout. The breakdown, and then the second half is pure highlight of this track. It is probably their best instrumental.
Okay. Now, finally a good song that's original sounding and sounds like a totally different band. If this were a regular studio album, it could start with this song. I like it. Let's see if any other songs on here are any good. All right. Now for I Am the Walrus. Okay. It's not a great version because it's concentrating on rocking and not bringing any of the strangeness except for that alien sounding guitar solo, which was interesting and made me think about whether or not Jimi Hendrix could have covered it and done it that way. But other than that one moment, it was a not very interesting performance. What do you think?
Well, I mean, while it could never supplant the Beatles' original, in my estimation, which, contrary to anybody out there, the Beatles are still my favorite band of all time. This one takes a lot of flack from folks for whatever reason. Being that the lads replicated the whole song with nothing but bass, guitar, and drums has always been impressive to me. And Liam's vocals, I think, are excellent on the track. Usually the show closer for most shows, which I'll find out. It was also the song that Noel made the band play over and over and over again when they were just rehearsing to tighten their sound in the pre-fan days. He even had an early fan compliment him on this song and said, "Great tune you wrote there." And Noel proceeded to tell him to fuck off. Noel was on fire with the guitar as well, like you noted. It's a fine version that doesn't supplant the original for me, but it's a solid version. So for you haters, eat a dick. All right.
All right. What do you think of Listen Up?
This song reminds me of early U2 with a little big country mixed in for good measure. Very Irish sounding, which makes sense as they are actually Irish dudes to begin with. Liam really seems to stretch his vocals. You hear his vocals get pushed to the extreme in the pre-chorus. It almost hurts my throat hearing him strain. This is one for a fact I know Noel sings a bit better, and I prefer a more toned down version. But this was Crank It Up to 11 Oasis at the time. Solid tune overall, but this version isn't my favorite version of the track.
Okay, I put the way they played it, because it sounded like they meant it. I like that. And that in itself is a good thing. And about the first 20 seconds I did like. But then melodically it went into the territory I don't care for from them. So it's at least arrangement wise done well. But it's still a song I wouldn't want to hear again. Okay, and now for Rockin' Chair. At least they now sound like they're doing a mediocre Kinks song instead of a boring one. For this album, it's an improvement, but it's still in the category of my skipping it. What do you think?
Well, we get a fade in, so definitely a little nod to the Beatles there. B-side to Roll With It, and I'm going to say it's better than the A-side because I don't really like Roll With It that much, so which was an A-side single, and it's a more chilled out piece than some of the other tracks, and Liam seems to sing this one a bit more comfortably than Listen Up. And maybe it's because they did some double tracking and echoes, so it may have helped a bit. This one does sound like a B-side. It's not flooring by any stretch of the imagination. It's a B-side to a weak A-side single.
What do you think of Half the World Away?
Right on time, we get a solid track after 2 weaker ones. This one is another classic from the band. Very Beatle-esque here. And yet another one that is simple lyrically and has themes all could understand. Unless you like death metal or don't like the bass. Then you can't be helped. Very tender, and the ladies get it. So once again, Noel knows what's up. The ladies like it, so it's mega. One of the better tracks in the album. Not the best, one of the better ones.
Okay, I put, if I lost my earplugs while the song was on, I wouldn't scream. That's about as close to saying something nice about it I want to get. But for this album, which is filled with a lot of songs which are comparatively worse by about 5%, it's in good company with them. Okay. Now, for It's Good to Be Free. This is an okay song. Not great, but it resembles more those songs of theirs that I like than the songs I don't. So it sort of does not belong here, because it's just beyond the tip of the boring stuff I've been mostly hearing so far. What do you think?
B-side to the standalone single, Whatever. And just a supplement to it. It's not necessarily better. Has a bit of a Stone Roses meets the Smiths feel here. So the dudes don't fret from wearing their influence on their sleeves. Liam sings this one very well. The lyrics are great. Another nice little track here. Of course, Lee would like it more than you need to, but that's because he's being a saucy lad. Not their best, but fits in nicely here. It fits in nicely right now.
Well, okay, what do you think of Stay Young?
And I already know what you think of this. You've told me a million times, but you can tell the world. It's your turn. B-side to the epic single, Do You Know What I Mean? And no, it's not better than that. It's hard to beat that one. But this is about as upbeat as one can get, full of positivity. For some, maybe a bit too much. But this was the appeal to the Oasis, to those of us that got their brilliance. Shower occasionally, things of that nature. Not my favorite track on the album, but I do have a soft spot for this one due to its positive message that doesn't make me gag. And that in and of itself is a skill, because I could understand not liking it, but it works for me. But for you negative Nancy's, go ahead and slam on Stay Young, Lee.
All right. If The Who put out an album of their most horrible material, this would be the best song on it. But for an Oasis song, it's in that paint by the numbers boring category as the others. But I'm not surprised. Okay, now for Head Shrinker. This is a pretty good song. After hearing all these boring things, my listening got kind of numb. So even though I will rate this as one of their good songs, I'm too dulled up to enjoy it as much as if it were on an album with songs of its equal. What do you think?
This one could be the most underrated pure rocking tracks they ever did. It has a similar feel to Bring It On Down from Definitely Maybe. So that may be the only knock I have against it. This is a road they've traveled before. But do I dislike it? No. And I'd hazard a guess if you played this for someone, it would floor them who the hell it is. Solid rock song that proves they can rock with the best of them.
Okay, what do you think of the last song, The Masterplan?
Hands down, best track in the album. My opinion will never change. It was the B-side to Wonderwall. For my money, blows away Wonderwall massively. It never ceases to amaze me that Noel would hold songs like this as B-sides. It could be one of the best songs he's ever done, period. No one, not Eddie Vedder, not Nikki Sixx with his fake drug-addicted ass, not Axl Rose, not Robin fucking Zander could write something this strong. This is pushing Lennon McCartney brilliance here. A phenomenal piece of work and easily the best track on the album.
Okay.
This album is essential Oasis listening. Go ahead and trash the Masterplan song, Lee.
Well, I said, it does sound like they wanted this to be a song of theirs they could be proud of. Well, is it better than most of the other boring songs on here? Not really, but at least I understand the intent, and it doesn't go unnoticed. Okay.
Which, by the way, folks, I think Lee is a bigger Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds fan.
Yeah.
Because he's picked many songs of theirs to be some of the best songs he's ever heard.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, this was a B-side album, so to give you an out, this was B-side. So
it was just not great music.
They're B-sides.
But still, that would be like you get a $200 dinner and the only thing that's good on it is the steak, but you're paying $200, so it should all be good. But they say, but it's only the mashed potatoes. Yeah, but they shouldn't be cold and straight from the freezer, you know?
You only did this because you were in your field. You were nicer in the last review.
Well, I had to listen to it again, and that's how I got.
No, to be fair, you
I mean, I
like
do
it
listen to it.
Yeah, you didn't like it that much the first time.
Yeah, and I'm starting to get to where I don't like them again, and I thank you.
I knew you hated Stay Young. I knew that. But,
I don't remember whether I like them or not until I hear them, and then once I hear them, then I am refreshed.
You did not, but Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds, you're a mega fan. I mean, I
don't like all of the songs, but I like some very much.
You said The Right Stuff is one of the greatest songs.
I like that a lot, but listen to me.
Yeah.
Listen. Yeah. There is some stuff that he does that I wish I could aspire to, because he's better than me. But there's also stuff I don't like.
That's fair. And you even didn't hate a Beady Eye song I sang, which is some massive love there. So
there's about 50% of that B album that I don't like, but I would say the whole damn thing is better than mostly, except for a couple of songs on this that are very good. There were a couple on here that were very good, and one other one that was fine, and another one which even though I didn't really love it, I wouldn't scream if my earplugs were lost. So
Well,
there you go.
Either way, I mean, I'm just happy that we did a redux of the Masterplan.
I'm
There for
happy
my
that
boy.
you're happy about it.
Of course. I mean, well, I mean, it was a great day. It's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to
Yeah.
fathers like myself, and Bob, whatever his
Well,
name
happy
is.
for
Hey, you have to hear me say
Happy Father's Day to you.
thank you. And I got to say, I do like Noel better than Liam. There, Bob Hay.
Okay.
There you go. So you can hear that because you know what good is. He may not always. Most times.
Yeah.
But not always.
Yeah.
But it's okay. But just listen to Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds, Chasing Yesterday, The Right Stuff, Ballad of Mighty Guy. You'll hear a great song or two. Right, Lee?
Yeah, you'll hear a few.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. One of the greatest songs you ever heard. The Right Stuff.
Yeah, one of
But
them.
not on this record.
Yeah, not
Even
on
though
this
the
record.
Master Plan is phenomenal, and you love the live High Flying Birds version, but you don't like the version on the record.
Whatever, okay?
It's okay.
All right, yeah. All right.
It
Okay,
is all
everybody.
good.
Yeah, all right. You're welcome.
Fuck Oasis. You're welcome.
All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.